Hey guys, Stan here from Rocky Creek. Welcome, and we're going to talk about a 2020 review of what were our 5 greatest achievements during our first year here on our homestead. Now, I want you to understand that this was our first year on this property when I knew I really wanted to do quite a bit. You know, I had raised beds before. I'd raised a couple egg-laying hens. That really was it. Most everything that I've done, I've been completely self-taught, and I just want to share with you what my top 5 were for this year, just to give you an idea that, hey, if I can do this, anybody can do this. Trust me. My number 5 in my top 5 list of what we were able to do during our first year on our homestead was being able to water bath can our items for the first time ever. Water bath canning was something that I was sort of intimidated by, because you hear horror stories about if you don't do it properly, what can ultimately happen. But I can tell you, if you do some reading, watch some videos, it's super easy. In order to be able to get the most out of our harvest, you got to be able to preserve items. Now, the reason why I say it's my number 5 is because I bought the equipment to be able to do pressure canning, but I never got the time to be able to do it. By being able to water bath can, though, I was able to keep back around 70 some jars of preserved goods that we grew here on our homestead. So it definitely helped us out tremendously, and it's super nice to be able to just go in the cabinet and have plenty of stuff available as when we need to. And that's not counting the amount of stuff that we end up freezing in addition to what we're able to preserve that way. So I say that was my number 5 thing that we were able to do this year for our very first time here on our homestead. Now, my number 4 thing is going to be the DIY livestock trailer that cost us very little money. Anytime you start a homestead, it can be very expensive to get all of your day-to-day items that you need. Well, I needed a way in order to transport my livestock that are larger, such as our cooney pigs. I didn't have thousands of dollars to invest in a livestock trailer. I also didn't want to try to get them into the bed of a pickup truck. So I took an existing landscape trailer that we had, some cattle panels, and some connectors that I found on Premier One, and we were able to do this thing with very little money invested into it, and it worked fantastic. We hauled pigs multiple times, everything from piglets to full grown. We were able to haul our hay to the house. We were able to put, I think it was around 12 bales of hay into it at one time, and we also were able to use it when I had to take my pig to the vet. So that thing has worked fantastic, and the great thing was I was able to disassemble it and use it in our garden later on that year. So definitely worked out well, especially in a pinch, to get us through the early years here on the homestead. Now, my number 3 item for this year is going to be us being able to process our first large livestock animal ever, which was our cooney pigs. We took 2 of them to the processor, and we were able to get enough meat to fill our freezer about 3/4 of the way. And here we are halfway through the year, and we still have plenty of pork, and it is some of the best tasting pork we've ever had. So that was definitely an intimidating thing, and although we didn't process them ourselves, that was still definitely in my top 3 of achievements for 2020. My number 2 achievement for 2020 was us raising and processing our own meat chickens ever here on our homestead. I put the chickens above the pigs because this was something that I was able to do from the beginning to the end solely on my own. So if I had to, I would be able to raise this meat for my family without the assistance of anybody else. Now, it was nice having my buddy Paul to help me out, and we were able to get them done much faster. But at the end of the day, I was able to raise great pasture-raised, homegrown chicken that I processed on my own, and I know everything that happened with that chicken from beginning of its life to the end of its life. And we are very thankful, and believe it or not, we are almost out of chicken, and we're already planning for more chickens for 2021. Now, my number 1 thing that I was able to do in 2020 that I think was our greatest achievement was, believe it or not, our in-ground garden. I had previously done raised beds at my old house when I lived in the city. Once we moved here, I was able to till the land, and I did my first ever in-ground garden. It was tiring, it was exhausting, but to see the fruits of our labor when we would go out to that field was phenomenal. And to know how much food I still have preserved now into the middle of winter that I was able to grow in my garden, it gives me a sense of appreciation. And I think what I like the most about it is every time I cook something in the house that my daughter believes came from the garden or suspects that it does, she always says, "Dad, are these the ones that we grew?" And to see my child have such an appreciation for food that she probably would have normally never wanted to eat or never would have thought about the importance of it, to me is such a great thing. Now, it was very exhausting because, as you all may know that have been following us, we had a child this year. And my wife was pregnant, and so her main thing to keep her healthy and so that we had the best chance for a healthy baby to be born, which thank God we did. So I did a lot of the garden on my own, in addition to the help that my daughter was able to do for her age. But hands down, producing that garden gave me a feeling of fulfillment better than anything else we did here on the homestead. And it was the most challenging thing, believe it or not, because it was a day-to-day thing that took up a lot of time and beyond that. So, guys, 2020, although across the nation, had a lot of issues. Here on our homestead, we were very blessed, and we had a lot of great things that went on. And just understand, I was a complete rookie this year. So if I was able to raise egg-laying hens, meat chickens, hogs, coonies aren't really hogs, too cute to call them a hog, pigs, and was able to process much of that stuff on my own while raising my own in-ground garden, just know that no matter how small your plot is or how big of a piece of property you have, start small, start planting now, start raising, do enough that you can manage and enjoy every minute of it, and you as well can have a great 2021 just as we had in 2020. But we're not done yet. There's a lot more to come. I'm already planning for stuff that we want to do in 2021, and we're thankful to have you guys along the way. You all have been a tremendous support, a great group of people to bounce ideas off of, and I have learned so much from you, and I hope I've been able to teach you something along the way or to inspire you to do these types of things on your property, because you can do it. You just got to take that first step and give it a try. So guys, we thank you all. We appreciate you each and every day. We hope everybody has a great 2021, and Happy New Year. And as always, guys, we'll see you here real soon on the next video. Y'all be good.